Hey everybody, welcome back. Alright, so we are on turn 4. We haven't done all that much yet, but things are going to move a lot more quickly in this episode. So in between last episode and this one, I was thinking about the Witch's Coven. I've never tried to infiltrate one of these before, and I'm not exactly sure what kind of benefits it's going to give me, but I know it's got to be useful. Up here we have a witch. Let's see. She's got a decent lore skill of 3 and command of 4. She didn't have any minions. Um, I'm wondering if you can enshadow the witches just like you can the rulers of human settlements. You probably can. So that's going to be something I'm thinking about. But just a quick recap here. We're waiting on the courtier to infiltrate the docks in this city. That's going to take 36 turns. And our supplicant is trying to infiltrate the catacombs here. And of course, our overall strategy is we want to hopefully turn this kingdom right here, which is the kingdom of Xing, into a dark kingdom. But we have to enshadow the ruler completely, and that's going to take some time. That ruler is here in the capital, and it's going to take some time to lower the security of the capital. So anyway, let's go ahead and end our turn and just see what's going on. So we have more religious tension. The Holy Order calling of Morant displaced the Brothers of Faith. In the beginnings, most of these messages are not terribly important. And of course, right now it's describing events going on over here. They're still relevant to us because if we know the political situation between certain kingdoms, then we can also figure out how to antagonize them and make them even more bitter in their rivalry. So anyway, let's go ahead and end the turn again. And we're just going to keep pushing through here and just see if we notice anything happening. Where did the Chosen One go? I wasn't watching as I should have. Now you can use, by the way, I think, what is it? One of these is the Hero Finder. 8, I never remember. And I think the Chosen One was... I can't remember the name now. It might have been her. But anyway, it'll show you where certain heroes are on the map. But I don't see the Chosen One right now. Alright, it's not that big of a deal. We will see them soon enough. Oh, right in front of me. That's right. Okay, so they are here, and I'm hoping that what they're going to do is try to combat the Deep Ones. Do they still have that? They still have it as a motivation, but they look like they're more likely to try to mediate politics in a different city altogether. So I hope they do pick Decimate the Deep Ones, because we don't want to deal with that right now, and I explained it last time, but the Deep Ones are normally a good thing for us. But I want to keep as many settlements in this kingdom as I can so that it will be powerful when I take over. And if the Deep Ones take this city, it's gone. Okay, so let's go ahead and end the turn. Okay, so this is one of the mid-challenge obstacles that I mentioned last time. This is always going to happen, and it's going to happen more often the longer your wait time is before you can complete a challenge. Like if it's 44 turns, you're going to see a couple of these at least. So what's going on here is some elderly women in this particular city that my supplicant is in basically noticed that, we're going around doing things, and they don't necessarily know that anything's going on. So we can choose let them gossip, and what's going to happen is our profile will go up by 15. That's not as bad as our menace. It's also not preferable, though. We don't want that to happen. If we silence them, it will increase our menace instead, but only by 5, but we don't want that. And the other option, of course, is to just stop the challenge of trying to infiltrate the catacombs, and we're not going to do that. So we're going to go with the profile increase. Alright, so yeah, they call these mid-challenge events, not obstacles, okay? Alright, so if we look now at the supplicant, we can see that our profile is now at 15. And that just means that in fact, we can go to the profile view overview, which is 2 on the number pad, and this is really having no effect. If the profile were higher, you would see the hexes around where we are basically brighten up. And that means any hero in these surrounding hexes that are brightened will be aware of whatever it is we're doing. So our profile is still really low, and that's not a problem. Alright, so we got 13 turns left. I'm going to take a quick look here just to see if anything has changed. I mean, it's not likely that anything would change politically in 8 turns, but I just want to be sure things are still the way I remember them. There's some unrest over here in this bastion. If you click on modifiers, yeah, the unrest is almost at 50%. And that's what that, obviously, what that fist icon will indicate. All right, let's go ahead and intern again. And let's check on the Chosen One. So she's currently resting and resupplying, which was right here on the list. Please pick Decimate Deep Ones next. That's what we want. Okay, so here's another mid-challenge event. This time it's for our other agent, the Courtier. Yeah, he's caught in a sandstorm. And little can be done by humans other than cowering under their cloaks or indoors, but the servants of elder beings might be able to call upon their patron's power to endure what others cannot. Elder beings are basically dark beings. So we can choose to just lose some challenge progress, which will add some turns. We can use our power to protect the courtier so that nothing bad happens. We can continue, which gives us a chance of either losing 2 or 4 HP. And you see he only has 5. That's not a good idea. And of course, we're not going to abandon the challenge. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my power. It will regenerate. So I'm going to do that. And so now we have 0 out of 1. All right. So one more turn, we might get to see what the Chosen One is up to next. All right. So we got some more religious tension going on. We're going to go ahead and ignore that for now. Okay, so now the first hero other than the Chosen One, unless this is the Chosen One. Yeah, oh, it is. Okay. She's now 100% aware, so she knows we're here. She doesn't know exactly what we're doing, but she knows we're here and that she needs to warn the world. And so this is going to become her thing. And she's going to want to travel all over the map and let everyone know what's happening. So, an important thing to keep in mind is that a lot of magic and powers and things that you can use, they don't work on the Chosen One. So basically, if you're planning something other than just brute force, trying to kill her with like a warlord or something, it's usually not going to happen. Alright, so we don't know what she's going to do next yet. It's in the turn. Alright, so we've broken our first seal. Our maximum power has now increased to 2. And we've unlocked a new power, Eyes in the Shadows, which boosts the infiltration in a selected location. And that's pretty useful. Like if we go to use power here, we'll see we can only do cloud senses right now because we only have 1 power. But this is what you do to slow down a hero while they're engaged in a challenge. Or a quest, I should say. This would be nice, but we don't have the power. Not right now anyway. Okay, so now she's going to go defeat an ogre. I mean, that's okay, but it's not what we wanted. I'm going to go to the modifier finder. And we can see where there are wandering ogres. And there's one in the Elder Tomb, and then one in the city that our supplicant is in. So she's not going to go far. So that's good. So hopefully she'll come back and do something about those deep ones. Because, let's see what the deep one's influence is right now. 57, it's getting up there. It's getting up there. I mean, we'll deal with it if it happens, but... Alright. So, we got 9 turns remaining here, and with the courtier, 22. Alright, so let's keep it going. Alright, so now the Chosen One has spread some awareness. So if we go to, somehow, the Chosen One got in touch with this guy. Not exactly sure how. So if we go, let's see, to the awareness overview, it generally shows... I guess it shows... No, I don't, actually, it should show that, I would think, that hero. Maybe not. Okay. Alright, so let's keep going here. Again, as I mentioned in the last episode, the first, oh, I don't know, 30 turns at least, you don't get a lot done, usually. So this is not unusual. Okay. Alright, there's our autosave. Okay, let's see. Now we have 6 left here. Let's keep going. Alright, more religious tension. And here's another mid-challenge event for our supplicant. So we can either take our time to ensure the guards don't see us, but it's going to slow us down. Or we can just keep going and, like it says, risk gaining unwanted attention from local law enforcement. So the odds are our menace will increase by 3, but there's also a chance it'll increase by 6, and I really don't want that right now. But I also don't want to lose either 6 or 12 challenge progress, so we are going to do this. And we got lucky, it wasn't the higher number, right? So your agent's menace increases by 6. All right, and of course, menace affects the motivation of heroes to come at you, basically. Okay, so let's keep going. And the chosen one is here, and she's actually chosen to fight the Manticore. Now, okay, so the Manticore is another thing you'll see wandering the map, and there's two, right by us, where they are. If you defeat a Manticore, they drop a trophy, a Manticore trophy, and it gives you a bonus +1 to both your might and your command stat. It's very important for warlords. But it looks like the Chosen One's going to get one of those trophies. But if we were to eventually defeat the Chosen One, we would get the trophy, so that's something to keep in mind. Alright, let's keep going here. Alright, we have finally completed infiltrating the catacombs. So, now if we click on this abbey, now you'll notice these tendrils of shadow. That's because it's almost 25% enshadowed, and we have 50% infiltration now. That's because there's 2 points of interest. So once we infiltrate the holy site, we'll have 100%. Now, shadow is also represented on the map by this right here. I don't think the tendrils have to do with shadow so much as they have to do with infiltration. Because the actual shadow is this dimming you're seeing radiating out from the Elder Tomb right now. Okay, so the question is, what do we do next with Supplicant? I mean, we could just infiltrate the holy site. It'll take 13 turns, and I think that's what we'll do. But this is also a very helpful thing when you are playing as this particular god. If you put a well of shadows down, it's going to spread shadow. Well, it's going to radiate it to all the connected tiles. And that could be quite helpful here, because it would not only put more shadow in this abbey, but also spread to the capital and to this city. So basically everything. So it might actually be worth it. And this is governed by your lore stat, which is 2. So that's going to take 20 turns. But honestly, I think I'd rather infiltrate first, because that should maybe make it easier to put the Well of Shadows down. But I'm not totally sure about that, but we're going to infiltrate the holy site here. And, oh, the Supplicant leveled up as well. So we could choose this trait where you lose 0.1 profile per point of intrigue every turn, and that's pretty helpful. But I just want to give them a boost to their intrigue at this point, to make intrigue 5. And so now you can see it's now 10 turns instead of 13. Alright, so here's a mid-challenge event for the courtier, his second one. Let's see. A raven arise. A skeptical noble, a thorn in the courtier's side, was disowned by his family after running through the city naked, eyes wild of salvation flowers. Your agent crumples the letter and reaches for a new one. So this is a pleasant surprise where we gain progress. We could imply our involvement, and we would increase our menace and profile, but get a much larger challenge progress. Or we can abandon. I'm actually going to risk it. And we're going to increase our menace and profile, because we can lower it again by doing a lay low action or challenge in a city. But I really want that 30 challenge progress. Okay, so this is telling us that there is an orcish upstart. In other words, a leader for an orc clan is basically what's going on here. And if we go to this, it'll show us that's happening over here at this orc fortress. And this is all orc territory all throughout here. And so there could potentially be rival, I think rival orc upstarts working against each other, but I don't know for sure. All right, let's take another look at the Chosen Ones. Still fighting the Manticore, 4 turns left. And we have 7 left now for the courtier here. All right, more religious tension. Okay, so the first shadow begins to take hold. The world becomes slightly darker. As you expand your shadow, the nobles and heroes of the world will become obscured by darkness and lose the ability to defend themselves against your coming dominion. Wonderful news. So as an example here, the leader of this particular place is the Duchess, and she is 10% enshadowed. You can see the traits down there, by the way, things she likes, things she dislikes. Over here, let's see, is that the same? Yeah, that's the same one, okay. This ruler is 27% enshadowed. And then over here in the capital, 0 enshadowment so far on the king. So we got a long way to go. Okay, so when we get another agent slot, that's going to be that's going to be an interesting decision, what agent to get next. But let's cross that bridge when we come to it. So here's another mid-challenge event, this time for the supplicant. So let's see, the noble that I was planning to poison was just thrown off his horse and then kicked in the head. And now he's committed to an abbey, and his replacement comes from the cult's own circle, which in other words, our cult. So again, we can take 12 challenge progress, we can imply our involvement, but our profile and menace are already a little too high for my taste on the supplicant, so we're just going to go with a pleasant surprise. And that means 3 turns left here, and 9 for the courtier. Let's see here. Yeah, their security's still 4. Now, who are you? You are going to rest and resupply. Oh, oh, look at that. It's the Manicore trophy. So, now that's interesting. Oh, okay, I was going to say, I thought the chosen one... Yeah, so that's not so good. I wanted at least one of those trophies, but I didn't want them in the hands of the heroes, and certainly not the chosen one. So that... Oh my goodness, the chosen one has a command of 9. So she can have 3 minions. Okay. And then this one has that too. Alright. Let's end the turn. Alright, another seal broken. Our power increases, and thankfully, yes, we gain an agent slot. And we got a new power. And the Fleeting Servant is something you cast somewhere, and it creates basically a diversion. So if some heroes are harassing you, you can usually get them to be distracted by that and go deal with it for a certain amount of time. Alright. So again, when we pick another agent, we could go with the Trickster, we could go with the Cursed. The Trickster could be helpful, but at the same time, I think, and this is a decision that will not, it will not be an easy decision to make, because I want to get the Warlord involved so that we can take down one of those 2 heroes that has the Manicore trophy. And the reason is, that way I can get at least 2 minions fairly quickly, and I want them to be ogres. But see, and these 2 are going around fighting all the ogres. And so that's not good. I kind of want to get ahead of that. But at the same time, it's really hard to keep the Warlord's profile and menace down, and it will, although it can serve as a good distraction, overall it's going to raise World Panic a lot. But I think I'm going to do it anyway. So anyway, when you spawn in a Warlord, it has to be at an Orc Fortress. Oh, we got Deep One stuff going on down there. That's good. That's good. Alright, so we have these 2 fortresses here. We're going to spawn them... Well, it'd be nice to have them closer, because we're just going to move them over to where we are. Yeah, we'll choose this here. Now, I'm going to boost his command first, because we need a command of 6 to have 2 minions. And our Manicore trophy and this would give us 6. So I'm going to go with command first. And what I want to do is double check to see if there's any ogres near here. They are not. It's just here. So I've got to get here as quickly as I can. And that's going to take several turns. Several, might even be putting it lightly here. So let's just click on this city. So he's traveling to Tianpu. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Now, if we want to, let's see. She's hunting an orc upstart. Now, that has nothing to do with us, so that's fine with me. She's going to rest and resupply. Also, not a problem. Now, let's see. Oh my goodness, she has a might of 7. I was going to say, maybe we just attack her with one of our agents and maybe get lucky. No. She has an attack of 8. That is crazy. Alright, I'm just going to let them do their thing. Let's end the turn. Watch the chosen one head off towards where our warlord is coming from. Alright, we have infiltrated the holy site with our supplicant. And the courtier infiltrated the docks in the other city. Yeah, so that represents infiltration. Okay. So now if we look at the abbey, we have 100% infiltration, which is obviously great. You see these cracks forming in the portrait here? That represents that enshadowment spreading. This Baroness is up to 36%. That's good. Okay, so it looks like Well of Shadows is going to take the same amount of time. Yeah, it's going to take the same amount of time, so our infiltration did not affect that. But you can see we now have other options, like robbing the treasury, subtle thievery, silent assassination. Now, fuel to fire raises unrest in a location, so if you want to get their security down, that's a great thing to do. Raid periphery is how you basically attack a hex with a settlement on it. But as you can see, it's color-coded for might. And we don't have a high might stat. So, what I probably want to do here is move on. Now, has this affected the security here? It has. So this used to be security 8, and now you can see it's -1 due to, well, it's -1 due to infiltration of that abbey. So that's helpful. Now, while we think about this, the courtier has leveled up. And I think I want to boost his intrigue stat just like we did with the supplicant. Now let's look over here. So we've infiltrated the docks. There's still a library and a city palace. I want to see how bad... Okay, oh, good. The Deep One cult has somehow been suppressed a good bit. So that's working in our favor, believe it or not. And let's see. Okay, here's what I think I want to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to have the courtier go ahead and infiltrate the library. It's going to take a lot of time, 25 turns. But we're going to have him do that. And then what we're going to do is take the supplicant, and we're going to try to infiltrate this coven since we've already infiltrated that abbey. What's the profile of menace? 10, 11. That's not too bad. We might want the supplicant to lay low at some point. In fact, let me check. Yeah, profile. Okay, so still nothing that bad going on profile-wise. All right, so it could take another turn for the supplicant to get to the coven. And the coven already has 10% enshadowment, which is nice. And 8% on this witch. All right, so this is just telling us that we've reached the city. And we're going to try to infiltrate the coven. It's going to take 10 turns. I wonder if anything's happening in this kingdom here. They are being enshadowed because the shadow is spreading from the Elder Tomb. So that's good. And of course they have a security 8 because that's a capital city. When we infiltrate this coven, that'll certainly reduce that, but that's really all we can do right now. Because they're not connected to any other settlements of any kind. This may not even affect it. Because it's a coven. It might, though. It might. We'll see. Alright, in turn. There's the warlord. He's almost here. Is the ogre still... Oh, yeah. Okay. We can get one ogre right now. And then we're going to try to kill this particular hero to get that Manticore trophy. Then we can go grab the second one. She doesn't have any minions right now. And so we shouldn't have any problem there. Should not. I don't know if we will, but we should not. Okay, now, here's a very important mechanic. The humans will put wards on certain settlements, and those wards basically slow down the enshadowment rate there dramatically. The wards will go away, but then they can be put back up. But you can also have a challenge, this one right here actually, weaken ward, which will help diminish it more quickly. And this is... There's more religious tension. Oh, well, we have another mid-challenge event. So, the courtier... So look, the local elite have sought our pawn out, and they're willing to assist him. So we can gain 25 gold, but lose some challenge progress, and increase our profile. We can lose progress, and reduce our profile. I'd rather do this. We'll just have the profile reduced and lose a little bit of our challenge progress. So here's our warlord. And the ogre, of course, moved on in that same turn it took for him to get here. So there's one at the Elder Tomb. So now we do this. We move to the Elder Tomb. That's going to take another turn because we just got here. More religious tension going on. All right, and this is the chosen one, I believe, right? But regardless, they killed that orc upstart. All right, so now, oh, there's 3 ogres here. Not that I can get them, but all right. So here we're going to conscript ogre. That's going to take 5 turns. So a king has died of old age. This is the king of this kingdom up here. Oh, that's that huge kingdom. I don't know who's in charge now. It's going to be this heir. He likes madness. That could be interesting. Kind of a strange thing to like, but alright. Okay, let's see. The City of Item has taken up the faith of the heir. Okay, so they follow the Brothers of Faith now. Alright, one of the heroes has died of old age. That's nice. Oh, look who's come. Oh, I thought that was the girl with the Manicore trophy, but it's not. Where are you? Rest and resupply is what you're trying to do. Okay. Alright, one more turn. Yeah, lots of religious tension. That's good. So we have conscripted an ogre. So, again, we only have a command of 5, so we can't get another one right now. But you can see the ogre has 10 HP, which is great. 4 attack, not bad. Defense 3 is also not really bad. But as you can see, there's a problem. It increases the menace of the owner by 10. So I already have a menace of 10. I haven't even really done anything. Anyway, we're going to go attack this person and try to get that Manicore trophy, and we'll see how combat works at that point. I don't think we're going to have a problem. But we'll go through that as it happens. So, let's... I don't think we need to use... You know, we could use a power right now. We could use Eyes in the Shadows to boost infiltration, to speed things along in the Coven, for instance. Let me check, though. So the Courtier, you have 17 turns left on that. Oh, there's only one. I guess we'll use it with the Courtier. I think that'll be... the Coven only has 1 point of interest, right? Yeah. I think that's what we'll do. So we'll cast Eyes in the Shadows in the city of Tianpu. Oh, that's right. You can only cast this on a place that has no infiltration. Well, let's hit the capital with it then. Alright, so let's end turn. Alright, so the Supplicant has infiltrated the Coven. And our Warlord has reached the city he was headed to. Another hero has become aware that something's happening. Alright, so we want to choose this right here, attack Sir Bibe Henshin. And we'll go over how combat works here. So this is basically the interface. And I believe the hero or the agent attacks first, depending on who is attacking, not the minion. And it's turn-based. So I'll attack first, then she'll attack, then the ogre. And you'll see that she has an attack of 8, which is really impressive. I'm pretty sure that she has to get through the ogre to attack me, but I could be wrong about that. But that 8 attack will get rid of my defense and then kill me if she hits me. So we've made a bold calculation here. If she attacks me, my Warlord, we could possibly be dead. So I should have I should have spent a little more time working out the math in my head. So let's see. First move. So my Warlord attacked, and he has an attack of 4. So he got rid of her defense, which was 2, and lowered her HP to 6. And this is the combat log. Please attack my ogre. She did. Okay, good. Alright, so as you can see, she did 8 damage. 3 of it was taken away from the defense, and then 5 from the health. Now my ogre will attack. Oh, wait, she should have to attack the ogre again. He's not going to kill her. We should be fine. Alright, so that's even better. She retreated. Okay, so you can see she's retreated with only 2 hit points left and no defense. And she can't get very far, so we're just going to chase her down. And for our options here, we can increase our menace and profile by 10. We can do the same thing, but give her a new trait where she dislikes us, which makes her more likely to attack us. We can get even more menace and the same amount of profile, and make her have a dislike for combat and danger. Or the opposite, increase her preference for combat and danger. And this doesn't just mean combat and danger related to fighting us. It's whoever her enemies are, even if it's other humans. But she's not going to live long. So I'm just going to take the 10 on each here. Alright, so she fled down here to this hill, and we're just going to follow her. So we're traveling there. We'll get there on the next turn. Also, our Supplicant has leveled up. We can go with Infamous, which means that if this agent gets killed, and they probably will, when they die, it'll reduce the profile menace of all our other agents, which is pretty helpful. But I'm still just going to put a point into intrigue here to make the challenges and the infiltration happen more quickly. Okay, so the Coven is infiltrated. So the options we have now is we can do this dark worship. And what this does is spread shadow out from this location, and it will have a maximum total of 150%, but it's applied to the closest non-shadowed connected locations. So in other words, we're going to put a bunch of shadow into this capital city of this small kingdom here. So that seems quite helpful. Influencing the Holy Order. Now, I think this would be the Coven itself, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's called I guess the Bay Circle here. And basically we have 8 influence over them right now. And if we get to 160, we'll be able to change some of the tenets of their faith. I'm more interested in the shadow right now, so we're going to do dark worship, and then we're probably going to lay low for just a bit to reduce our profile and menace. And it's going to take 13 turns. I might actually lay low right now. I think I'm going to do that now. Yeah. Okay, so in the turn, some more wards have been established. More religious tension. And this is somebody switching to a different faith. All right, so we've caught up with our target here. And I just want to make sure, yeah, she still only has 2 hit points. I guess she gets her defense back, but it's not going to matter this time. So we're going to attack again. And she is dead. That is wonderful. Okay, so you'll see our defense regenerated here between the battles, but not the HP. Okay, so now here's what's going on here. Sir Zhang Zhu was friends with the person we killed. And so they have... they really don't like our warlord now. I don't know if they specifically made them a nemesis. Alright, so we can either leave the body where it lies and take this menace and profile increase, or we can take that increase and also get the infamous trait. And so when the infamous get killed, that halves the profile and menace of the other ones. I actually really want the infamous trait for the warlord because he will die. So we'll do that. And here's the Manicore trophy. We're going to take it. She didn't have any gold, otherwise we could take that too. And now, if we look at our warlord, he has a command of 6. So we can get another ogre. So I got to find out where an ogre is. Hopefully there's still one alive. Oh, there's plenty. Yeah, so we'll just go to the city of Tianpu. Try to catch it there. So he's traveling there. End our turn here. And it's just telling us about World Panic, which is rising here. Alright, so this is where we're going to end this episode. Thank you all very much for hanging out. I really appreciate that. Please hit like and subscribe if you'd like to. And I will see you all next time.